Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm rhicky28. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about a topic that everybody loves. We're talking about roster updates. This Friday, there's going to be a brand new roster update. I'm going to go over the people that I think are definitely going diamond. I'm going to explain my thought process and my reasoning behind these three guys going diamond and the 5 silvers that I have picked out that have a really good shot at going gold. I'm going to preface this by saying, of course, with SDS, nothing is a lock. They've made some mistakes in the past. They've taken a little longer to upgrade people. So just be prepared for that. There's technically no locks in this game to get upgraded. However, the guys that I picked out have the best chance, in my opinion. The first guy that we're going to talk about right now is Pete Alonso. The most important thing that Pete needs to get upgraded to become a diamond is that he needs better contact versus lefties. As you can see, he's only at a 40 contact versus left. Since the last roster update, Pete has hit 600 versus lefties. Now, he's only got 5 at-bats. He's had 3 hits in those 5 at-bats and 2 home runs. But as you can see, he only needs a slight bump to get up to that 85. We see the inside edge today. There's a +3 on the contact versus left, +3 on the power versus left. Just those 2 tiny little bumps gets him up to an 85. So if SDS feels generous, they bump up that contact versus left, you know, a good like 5-6 points. I don't know if they're really going to touch his power versus left, if I'm being honest, but that extra 5, 6, 7 points in contact versus left should be enough to get Pete Alonso to diamond, because the way you got to evaluate these hitters is you got to measure them on their splits. That's how the game is broken up. There's a lot of people that think that Rafael Devers is going diamond this update, and in my opinion, he is not even close. He's missing too much power versus left. He needs to hit more home runs versus lefties. Yeah, Devers is having a great season, but it's not enough in the splits to go ahead and get himself to the next level. That's why we're looking at Pete Alonso. He's got a lot of room to grow in that contact versus left, and he hit 600 versus lefties since the last update. But that 3 for 5 is very relevant and just the slightest boost to that contact versus left, and Pete Alonso is absolutely a diamond. He's got 2 home runs versus left as well in those 5 at-bats, so it is possible that they give him a little boost to power versus left. As you can see, a +3 to contact, a +3 to power, and Pete Alonso is a diamond. Our second candidate for going diamond is Alek Manoah. He's one of those guys that a lot of people believed before the season started that he could reach the diamond level. In my opinion, now is that time. Manoah needs an increase in Ks per 9 and walks per 9 in order to get there. It's not going to take a whole lot. He's an 84 overall. Since the last roster update, Alek Manoah has had 9.22 Ks per 9. That's up on his season average of 8.06. He's fast approaching his career totals, and that 62 Ks per 9 really doesn't reflect exactly what he's done this season. I'm expecting SDS to give him a nice chunky boost, and his walks per 9 are at 0.66 since the last update. So 72 walks per 9, you could see a nice little increase there too. I can actually see Alek Manoah getting up to like maybe an 86 overall. I could see him getting a little higher than the 85. I'm not promising that, of course. You never know how the ratings are actually going to pan out, but in my opinion, Alek Manoah needs a nice chunky boost to his Ks per 9, and he needs a solid increase to his walks per 9. So I easily see Alek Manoah going diamond. Joe Musgrove is the third guy that I believe will go diamond. In my opinion, he should have been a diamond in the last update. He's been having a great season. He's been really doing his thing, but for some reason SDS just didn't want to bump up his Ks per 9. I guess maybe they needed a bigger sample size. They needed him to continue doing what he was doing, but Joe Musgrove had 8.36 Ks per 9 since the last update. He is primed to get that Ks per 9 boost this week. A lot of people have been begging and waiting for Joe Musgrove to get the bump up to Diamond, and I really honestly believe that this is the week. He did have a slight increase in his walks per 9. He did have 3.21 walks per 9. Is it possible his walks per 9 get bumped down a little bit? Yes, but I believe the difference between the Ks per 9 going up and maybe the walks per 9 going down slightly, he should still end up as a Diamond by the end of the roster update. I honestly believe that Joe Musgrove has deserved this since last year. It took them until the end of the year to make him a Diamond last year. Let's give Joe Musgrove the props that he deserves right away. The last gold that I wanted to look at is Shane Bieber. Bieber has been having a great comeback season, especially for the past couple weeks. His Ks per 9 have been at 9.6 since the last roster update. He's only at 68 Ks per 9 in the game, so I can really see that getting bumped up. He's also got a 1.2 walks per 9 since the last roster update. So I can see both his walks per 9 at 75 getting a little bump up, maybe to like a 78 level, maybe 79. I don't know, 1.2 is a really nice number for the past couple weeks. And then his Ks per 9 with the 9.6, you might see that get bumped up like 5 points, maybe 6. I don't know. Shane Bieber is coming back to form. So do I think he's going Diamond this update? I don't think he's gonna get the Diamond increase. However, I do think he's gonna go up to like maybe an 82, 83. So I just wanted you guys to keep your eyes on Shane Bieber. He may very well be a Diamond on the next roster update in 2 weeks, and that might be the guy that you want to jump in on right now. Now we move on to our silvers. We've had a couple of great weeks out of Luis Severino. 12.15 Ks per 9, 2.03 walks per 9, and he's only given up 3 hits in his past 13 1/3 inning. Severino is due for a big upgrade. I believe he's gonna get an increase in hits per 9, Ks per 9, and walks per 9 on this update, and I think he's pretty much as close as you can get to a lock on gold. Logan Webb is our next silver to gold candidate. I know what you're saying. Logan Webb had a horrible start in his last game. He pitched 4 2/3 innings and he gave up 4 earned runs. Oh my. But you got to understand that earned runs don't mean anything in MLB The Show 22. What we're looking at is his Ks per 9, his hits per 9, and his walks per 9. His Ks per 9 over the past 2 weeks were 11.37. Yes, Logan Webb has had a rough start to the season. Since the last roster update with 11 Ks per 9, you gotta see a bump in that Ks per 9 stat right there. 56 is just not really worthy of what Logan Webb truly is. His walks per 9 maybe get a little bit of an increase. He's been at 1.42 since the last roster update. I think it's fair to give him a little bit of a bump. However, I understand maybe SDS doesn't want to. 79 is a pretty solid number for him. Maybe they want to see an increase in production over the next couple weeks for that part of it. But 65 hits per 9, it's very possible that he gets a little bit of a tick upwards for that as well. In the past 12 2/3 innings, he's given up 8 hits. 65 is usually around the number for 9 hits per 9. So giving up only 8 in 12 2/3, he might have a shot at getting like a 3 or 4 point bump in hits per 9. All he needs to do is get back up to 80 and Logan Webb is a gold again. I can very easily see that happening in this update. Our first silver hitter is Austin Riley. It's really obvious to me that SDS has to bump him up to gold. Riley is having himself a really good season. The place where he really needs the most growth is in contact versus right. Since the last roster update, he's been batting 304 versus right. That is worthy of an increase up from 52. 52 is just way too low for a guy that's been this productive over the past week and a half. Not to mention, he also has 3 home runs in 23 at-bats versus righties, so we may even see a little bump to the power as well. He only needs 2 points overall to get to gold. Add in his stats versus lefties. He's had 2 home runs in 15 at-bats. Not the greatest rate, but you could see a nice little increase to the power versus left as well. A nice 3-4 point boost is really going to help our cause to get an Austin Riley to gold. He's batting 367 versus lefties, 81 contact. I think maybe a point or 2. It's possible to get a bump up from lefties, but really the thing that we're truly focused on is that contact versus right with that 304 average. I honestly think that Austin Riley should hit his threshold and he should become a gold card in this game. Adolis Garcia is my next silver candidate to go gold. I think it's a really clear situation right here. The biggest place that he needed to make an improvement was versus lefty pitching. Since the last update, in 17 at-bats, he's batting 353 versus lefties. That is incredible. 35 contact, really needs a boost up from that. He's gotten 3 home runs versus lefties as well, so it's very easy for me to see him get a little bit of a boost in power and a solid boost in contact versus left. He hasn't done so great against righties in the past week and a half. However, I don't really think that they're going to decrease his contact versus right too much. He had a 222 average versus righties. It's not ideal, obviously. It might go down a point or 2, but the increase versus lefties should be enough to get Adolis Garcia to become a gold. Our final silver to gold card is gonna be Gio Urshela. Urshela's stats versus left are his best attributes. His numbers versus lefties kind of stayed the same, so he's not gonna be worried about getting downgraded, or he's not really gonna get upgraded versus left. But the part that we want to look at are his stats versus righties since the last update. He's batting 348 versus righties, and he's got himself 2 home runs in 23 at-bats. I can easily see them giving Gio Urshela a nice solid bump to his contact and a little bit of an increase to his power. Gio Urshela is starting to turn things around. He's starting to become a much better player, kind of the hitter that we enjoyed on the Yankees. I can easily see Urshela becoming a gold in this update. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, write a comment down below. Let me know who you think I missed out on a possible upgrade. Let me know if there's anything that I'm missing. Let me know if you disagree with who I think is going to get the update, and tell me your thought process on who you think is going to get upgraded this week. We're probably going to be trying to do some sort of roster update videos every Sunday from here on out. I'll see you guys on the next video.